What's up, everyone? It's Chicks in the Office with Rhea and Fran, giving you that Friday energy on a Wednesday. As always, Wednesdays are our Bachelorette recap days. We are also joined by Trent, aka Trent Ryan, aka Barstool Trent, aka Luggage Guy Trent, aka Trent Daddy in the house. And we're really excited to talk about the Bachelorette this week because we're 1 week away from the finale. Really exciting stuff here.
So close.
We are nearing the end, guys. We've made it. We thought we would never get here. We made it. But before we get into that, do I got a deal for you guys? This deal is quite literally a no-brainer. I said that to Fran right before we started the podcast. I said this deal is a no-brainer. If they're not on board, I don't know what will make them on board for anything. Macy's right now is offering same-day delivery through DoorDash. That means if you haven't gotten your Christmas presents or your holiday gifts yet, and you're struggling and you're like, I don't feel like going to the store, what do? You open up DoorDash, you go to Macy's, and you get a gift delivered the same day. There is nothing better than that, in my opinion.
It's as simple as it gets.
Just like food delivery, you're like, I don't feel like going to the grocery store. I don't feel like cooking. I don't feel like walking to get food or whatever it is. We live in a city. That's why I said walk. You wouldn't, normally walk to get food. But I don't want to do that. What do? I order on an app. That's what I do. Comes in 30 to 45 minutes. Boom. You can get the same thing with clothing, jewelry, gifts of any sort. It's a no-brainer. Go to Macy's.com, shop away, and also go to Macy's.com/chicksintheoffice to shop all the things that Francesca and I have bought this fall and winter season.
Absolute no-brainer for just $5. As long as you're buying something $25 or more. Easy. DoorDash brings it right to you, and you'll be locked and loaded. You
know what this is perfect for? Say you're doing Secret Santa or something with your friends.
Yeah.
And you just haven't, that's such a last minute thing. Yeah. It always has been in my life.
Always.
Yeah. Always. I actually it's dreadful to me. I've always hated that. Okay. I'm kidding. Now I sound like the Grinch. That's not true. But I always was like, what do I get? What do I get? I always struggled as a kid as to what I was going to get my classmates. And the same thing getting older with your friends. You're like, what do you get? Boom. Macy's, $25 or more. And that's usually around the price of a Secret Santa type of gift. So I think that's perfect.
Spectacular.
Guys. Spectacular is the word of choice today.
Yeah.
So there we go. It's spectacular.
Spectacular.
Go to Macy's.com, shop away. Trent, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing great. Well, I'm in my New York City apartment. I'm not there, which is a little weird.
You could pretend Trent's like in some bunker somewhere.
I mean, I don't want to get into the interior decoration of my apartment, but it's not great.
Yeah, there's nothing on the walls.
I don't know. I don't really know what to do.
You look like you're in an asylum.
It does. It always looks like I'm in a padded room. When I do a podcast from this room, it looks like I'm in an insane asylum. But I'm at my apartment. I'm not in the office. Kind of a bummer. But I was in Arizona last week doing some golf videos for like 4 days. Came back Sunday. Got tested Monday. I haven't got my results back. I feel fine, but I didn't want to come into the office and give somebody
choice, Trent.
Yeah, it's responsible. It's right before Christmas. I know everybody's probably going home, so I figured the worst thing I could do was come in and give it to somebody if I have it. So I decided to do this from home, and here I am. It's weird, but here we are.
We thank you, Trent. That was the right move to do, the smart move to do, and we thank you. We missed you a large amount.
But we thank you.
But we thank you. And I'd like to say, before we start off, I've declared you winner of live tweeting this show. The Bachelorette, The Bachelor. You're the king. You are the best live tweeter there is. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Yeah, sure, we all have a good tweet in here and there. Yeah, I land one. Yeah, Fran lands one. But you land many. You just
Always.
keep them coming. You have me cackling. You have me cackling at my phone.
She was dying laughing watching.
You really make me fucking laugh hard with your tweets, Trent.
That's very nice of you to say. I saw you tweet that. It's incredibly nice. I'm really bad at accepting compliments, so I'm not quite sure what to say
no, that's okay.
right now. But it's very nice, and I like that, you would get enjoyment out of the tweets. I love live tweeting the show. It's what I started doing when I first started watching the show before we did recaps, before we did Cutting Stems. I just love live tweeting the show, so it means a lot for you to say that. But again, I'm bad at accepting compliments, so I'm just going to take those words in. And I'm going to thank you, and that's kind of it.
And I'll just say you're welcome, and I'm working on a trophy for you.
Okay. And we've come a long way from, meaty hands and all the other things that I forget what we say on the show.
She did call you Iowa corn boy on Cutting Stems.
I called you an Iowan corn boy who's obsessed with The Bachelor or Bachelorette, who doesn't like sports and wears the same thing every day. I know you like sports. I then followed up with that
Yeah.
you're the best tweeter. So I evened it out.
That's nice. Yeah, water always finds its level.
Yeah.
very
Trent,
true,
Trent, you were one of my first like Barstool follows on Twitter because of your live tweeting The Bachelor and The Bachelorette before I like worked here and didn't know anybody, because you just had great live tweets, because I would always read everybody's tweets.
Really?
I've never
not know
told
that.
you that.
No, I definitely
Yes.
didn't
Oh
know
my
that.
God. Yep.
The tension in this room.
Yeah. Woo! I had to wait to tell him that when he wasn't here.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you know,
Yep.
you would
Who
have
knows
to make
what
me
would have
leave
happened?
the room. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm making it weird, and I don't mean to.
No, it's fine. Again, like I don't. I
Once
just
again, he's
don't
so
know-
happy he's not in the room for all of this.
I just don't know what to do with compliments. I don't know if you guys have.
This is the opposite of what usually happens on this show.
I certainly know how to accept compliments.
I have no idea. I don't make eye contact. I just sort of bob my head and I walk away usually.
You know what my problem is with compliments sometimes? I say I know. Sometimes somebody will be like, love that shirt. And I'm like, great, right? Like, I know that I should say thank you, but I also agree that's why I'm wearing it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not specifically this shirt, but people will say that about an outfit or something. I'm like, I know, right?
I've done that too when I've like bought a new jacket and I know that it's an awesome jacket and I walk around and someone's like, hey, I really like your jacket. I'm like, yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know. It's a great jacket.
I think all our live tweeting game is all pretty strong. We get a lot of tweets during the episodes being like, all I do during the commercial breaks is look at Rhea and Keegs and your guys' tweets. So we're all very good live tweeters. So throw us a follow.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you listen to this recap and don't follow us on Twitter for our live tweets, you're missing out.
There's no way they don't.
Because there's some good stuff going on in there. Sometimes, we don't get it all out. Obviously, the recap, all of our feelings come out, but the straight, quick, funny tweets cut deep. They're good. All right, guys, do we want to get into our recap? We have Monday night and Tuesday night to talk about. We'll start with Monday night. It only took 17 minutes for Blake Moynes to be sent home. We all said last week that there was no way that this guy was making it out of his one-on-one date, and that's exactly what happened. The chemistry with them it just wasn't there. It's really no personal offense to Blake Moynes. It's just so obvious that he and Tayshia just did not have anything going on. And I think Blake Moynes might have taken it personally from us. Maybe.
Yeah, no, I saw his tweet about, what did he say? I wish, or Barstool Trent and the Office Chicks. Is that what he called
Chicks.
you?
Yeah, correct. He did call us the Office
I mean, he
Chicks.
could have tagged you guys. A little tag would have been nice. But yeah, there's no personal offense to Blake Moynes. It was just incredibly clear that him and Tayshia had no chemistry whatsoever. And Tayshia, it was sort of a strange date. And at one point, they're looking into each other's eyes, and Blake is pretending like something is happening. And then Tayshia, in an interview afterwards, is like, I just didn't feel it. It wasn't working for me. She sent him home very quickly. The sun was still out. And her reaction, like a total breakdown after sending Blake Moynes home, that was the most confusing part, because I thought she felt the same way we did, where it's just, all right, I like Blake Moynes. He seems like a nice enough guy, but we just don't have the chemistry to potentially get engaged at the end of this. So for her to completely break down was confusing to me.
I was actually shocked that the promo we saw the entire season of Tayshia being brought to tears, brought to her knees, that's how upset she is, was about Blake Moynes.
Yeah.
I realized in that moment that this is it for this season. We're not getting any more juicy drama. Tayshia's ex-husband is not showing up. Whoever put that in the trailer, whoever put Tayshia's husband's name in the trailer for the subtitles is fucked in the head. I appreciate it, but it's fucked in the head, because we all thought that her ex-husband was showing up. Then Tayshia got mad, and we were like, okay, Tayshia's getting mad, but still, why would his name be there? Had us believing this guy was showing up the way that we saw her be ripped apart in the teasers. But no, it was just Blake Moynes. It was just that fact. And yes, nothing personal against Blake Moynes. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. We're not saying like we hate Blake Moynes so much with a burning passion.
There's literally no hate there.
There's no hate because there's nothing to hate. He's so blah that there's nothing to hate, which is, it is what it is. No personal offense to him, but there was no connection that stood out to us. Nothing about him really stood out to us. It was the same old song dance with him getting naked over and over again, which obviously was a producer thing that wasn't
I think
Blake.
that has something to do with it too. Like it was the same shtick with Blake week after week that I was like, all right, we're over this.
We didn't see any depth with Blake.
Yeah.
We only saw him getting naked, which is fine for some people, but then at when you're getting all these juicy stories from everybody else, you're like, all right, well, we're not really getting anything from Blake here. We don't really see the sexual chemistry between them. Speaking of sexual chemistry, they had a black box over Blake Moyne's boner, which I got a good laugh out of. I'll admit, I was like, we're blocking out boners now on this show, which we're getting a little spicy this season. We've always been
It was
spicy.
a funny time to get a boner too.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit spicier this time around, and it is what it is. But Blake, he had to go. It wasn't his time, and unfortunately, the teaser that we got was about Blake.
We were all right. We're all right about Blake Moyne.
Yeah.
We knew he was. We knew as soon as he got the one-on-one date that last week or the week before, that was not a good thing for Blake Moyne. Blake Moyne was excited about that, but that was just Tayshia was going to give it a shot. It didn't work. He didn't even make it to the night portion of the date. See ya, Blake Moynes. Again, no personal offense.
Yeah, and I do have to say that I almost think that Tayshia's reaction to Blake leaving was so emotional because that was the last goodbye before all the goodbyes were going to get really hard. You know, I think it could have been like, wow, now I'm crying because I got to do stuff that's going to be way harder than this, which is exactly what happened. Because then she went in, she said, she pulled Riley out to talk and sent Riley home, and I think he was very shocked. But even in him leaving, he was very polite. Just that guy is an absolute class act, and I don't think he and Tayshia really got enough time on this show. I don't think Riley really was able to open up where he was his full self. He had way more serious vibes, and I think he has more to him than just that, but we didn't really get to see it. And Tayshia just wasn't ready to meet his family, so he had to go. But the chemistry between them was like compared to Blake, like no chemistry. The chemistry with Riley definitely there.
Yeah, like her reaction after sending Riley home, that made sense to me. Her breaking down and crying over Riley made sense. The only thing with Riley and Tayshia was I think Riley was further along in his head than Tayshia was with Riley. Riley is very, very much into Tayshia. I think Tayshia wasn't for Riley, just not as much. Maybe if they'd gotten some more time, it could have worked out, but it just wasn't meant to be. I like Riley. I think we all like Riley. I'd like to see him in Paradise. I know I saw some people saying they want Riley to be the Bachelor. I hope we're not done with Riley because I think he's a really genuinely good guy and he's good for the show.
I think Riley is a really good guy, like both of you have said. I think he's a great gentleman. I think he's smart. I think he's all of those things, obviously. I just think he was a bit serious, and I'd like to see his personality a bit more. I'm sure there's a great, fun-loving side to Riley who loves to laugh and joke around, but we didn't really see that this much on this season. We didn't get to know that side of Riley, and I think he maybe was just a bit too serious for Tayshia. I think, you see Tayshia and Zach C laughing it up. She's giggling. She can't even help herself. She's like a little schoolgirl in front of him. Yeah. But with Riley, it was a bit intense.
Like when they hooked him up to the lie detector test, and it's like a fun, silly date, and they're like, "Hey, you're a lawyer, Riley. Would you ever let one of your clients do this?" And he's like, "I would never, ever."
It's like I've actually advised my clients not to take these tests. It is definitely very serious. So Riley was sent home. We didn't get a cocktail party. Bennett comes back. The guys are all obviously pissed about it, but Chris Harrison says no cocktail party. Tayshia knows what she wants to do, which really shows how much she does not care about Bennett, that she didn't even need to have another conversation with him. It was so obvious. It was so obvious up to this point who the top four were. Give or take Riley. Like Riley being sent home before this was surprising, but Bennett, Noah, and those four guys, it's like it was clear as day who was going to get the hometowns, and Bennett and Noah were sent home.
Why even let Bennett come back after the first time where he comes back, he shows up at her place? He sits her down. He says, I'm in love with you, which is clearly just not true. Like, Tayshia, she's pretty direct. She's no bullshit most of the time. I think she saw right through that, and for whatever reason, she kept him around for the rose ceremony, then would send him right back home again. Maybe that's a producer thing, so we can, you know, ceremoniously watch Noah and Bennett leave together. But her letting Bennett come back and then send him home during the rose ceremony, it was just a complete waste.
Right, and I've said this multiple times before now, but I feel like it was definitely producer-driven because Tayshia kept saying how much she liked Bennett, and I don't think you do that to somebody you like. You do that to somebody you hate. You make them come back just so you could diss them again and send them home again and say, you know what, I fucking hate you. Stab the knife and twist it even more. That's not how you treat somebody you like. So I think that all had to do with the producers, you know, saying we need some drama in here. Fran has moved her phone, and it sounded like a fart.
I swear to God, I thought someone farted.
Yeah, it did.
I was like, whoa, Fran, but I saw her move her phone, and I was like, that's definitely why.
Because I would have 100% got blamed for that. So I'm glad I'm
That is true.
No, I saw it out of the corner of my eye. I think that they needed some sort of drama because we really didn't get any of that this season. You know, the drama with Noah and Bennett was so made up out of thin air.
So fake.
It didn't have to happen. It wasn't.
I do think they don't like each other.
Yeah, I don't think they like each other, but it doesn't fuel my fire.
I don't know, because then you see him at the men tell all, not to jump ahead. He's given him a sippy cup, and they're kind of laughing about it. Like, I even feel that the hatred that they have for each other isn't really there at all.
I think they are annoyed by each other, but they know that it's all a shtick. Like, it's all... It's being played up so much. I completely agree with what Rhea said. Like, it just went on for so long because they were holding on to dear life for some kind of drama, some element of surprise. So Bennett and Noah had to stay around. It was so many weeks, like, of Bennett and Noah where Bennett and Noah should have just been sent home together on that 2-on-1 situation. And I'm sure Tayshia wanted to send them both home at that time, but they stayed around, and then Bennett was allowed to come back. So it all seemed a little manufactured from that point. But we finally got them off. Bennett and Noah are sent home. Ivan, Ben, Brendan, and Zach C get hometown dates. And then it goes to the men tell all, which we got more of Bennett and Noah drama, which at that point, after watching Bennett and Noah go home and then immediately going into the men tell all, I was like, I don't care about this at all.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't really care about the men tell all too much. It wasn't anything
pretty
that
boring.
exciting. It was pretty boring. I think DeMar was the star of the show. I think he should be. I all of a sudden,
good Paradise audition.
Right. It was like, oh my God, where has this man been? First of all, it seems like he has all the answers. He was like speaking for everybody. He was like, no, this is what happened. No, this is what happened. He was like, I'm the one watching it from the outside looking in. I saw all you guys acting a fool. This is what happened. I think he'd be great on as the Bachelor in Paradise. I think we need to see more of him. That was my takeaway from Men Tell All. Otherwise, we had Noah fighting with Kenny. He had that insult towards Kenny, which I thought was kind of cringeworthy. I mean, because...
I liked it.
I know you liked it, which I understand how it is like a, whoa, he said that, but I also think he had that planned. Like, it almost looked on his face that he had been thinking about that insult, and it didn't really fly off the tongue. It looked a little planned. But Ivan did tweet that Noah is on the right side of history, and I trust Ivan. So I feel like I'm just going to go with that. But either way, I don't necessarily care about anything that happened on Men Tell All.
Yeah, as good as DeMar was, and I thought he was really good, Kenny was that bad. I just could not take Kenny seriously. Like, when Bennett and Noah are going back and forth, Kenny's on Bennett's side, and it felt like Kenny was trying to get as much of the spotlight as he could, maybe go on Paradise and all this. But yeah, I didn't think the Men Tell All was all that interesting. It was a lot more Bennett and Noah. Ed got a couple of good shots at a couple of people. Every time I see Ed, I just laugh. I don't know why. I've gone from disliking him to starting to like him to disliking him to liking him even more. So I think Ed will be in Paradise at some point. But other than that, yeah, it was a pretty boring Men Tell All, I thought.
Yeah, nobody was like at each other's throats. They tried to make the big drama bringing Yosef back, and instead of it being entertaining, it was just like, we fucking hate this guy's guts.
Yeah, it was just annoying because Chris Harrison had giving him a layup basically to apologize. He didn't want to apologize. He said some more offensive shit that nobody was
God, he sucks.
having. He just seems like not the best dude. Actually seems like the worst.
Yeah.
So I hope that we never see him again. I don't think we will see him again because the way that he wouldn't apologize, the way he just totally dismissed Chris Harrison.
Doubled down.
Yeah, it's not going to go well for him going forward in this franchise. I don't think we'll ever see him again. And Trent, as for Ed, you're so right. I have never gone back and forth like I have with this man. One second I'm like, why is Ed here? The next second I'm like, I think I like Ed. Then I'm like, why is Ed here? And then again on the mental all last night, I was like, you know what? He's letting Chasen have it, even though Chasen's not there.
Chasen's not even there.
Chasen's not even in the room. And Ed is really going at him.
When Ed was originally going at Chasen during the mental all, I was like, oh man, Chasen's going to be hot under the collar. I can't wait to see what he says. And then I felt like the camera just panned to nothing because Chasen wasn't there.
Yeah.
Good for Ed to get in those shots and just talk shit behind Chasen's back.
Ed picked a battle with a guy who wasn't even invited to the show. So it was just, was very interesting. They definitely cut a lot of people out. You know, we didn't get any Dr. Joe, which is a travesty. We didn't get, there was no Chasen, no Spencer, first impression Rose, you don't get invited to the mental all. But it seemed like they kept the numbers on the smaller side. No Easy, that might have been on purpose.
Probably, definitely.
And Claire also tweeted saying like, oh, I wish I had a chance to talk to these guys. So it seems like Claire didn't even get an invite to go to this mental all.
Listen, there is no reason that Claire had to be there. No reason at all.
Yeah.
She's with Dale. We don't have to talk about what happened with her and these guys anymore. We've moved forward. I think that was...
that's like that's like their ex-girlfriend. They're like, we don't need to talk about it. We got Tayshia. Like, we don't need to go rehash everything
That's
with
their
Claire.
ex.
They're like, we don't even know Claire.
That was 2 girlfriends ago.
Yeah. We don't even know her.
The only Claire would have been good is to dunk on Yosef because that would have been really easy.
Exactly.
But when did they film the mental all? Do we know?
They normally do it a month or 2 before the finale. I think a month-ish before the finale.
Wasn't that the whole thing last night, that it was live?
No, the mental all is always pre-recorded.
I kind of got a live vibe too.
I thought it was live. And they said Riley,
live.
you just watched that for the first time. They
I know, but Riley, you just watched that for the first time could be because they put it on the screen in the mental.
That's true, but I definitely remember, I feel like it was live.
No, because we know it wasn't live.
I don't think so. They never do the mental all live.
Because
I know,
Trent went to go do the woman
no,
tell all.
But I thought because, Corona, no studio audience, they changed it up and it was live this time.
I don't think it was live. I think that would have been...
I'm going to do some research.
but I think it would have been more apparent.
Tayshia was not there live. I think we would have seen posts about it happening if it was live.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think you're wrong.
Main takeaway is that Yosef is a real piece of shit.
Oh God, it's
shocking. Who are villains who get a bad cut and then they go on these and you're like, all right, maybe he's not that bad, but I'm still gonna hate him. Yosef is seems like a genuinely not a good person. So just get Yosef off the screen forever.
Yeah, they try. You try and give him a redemption and see if he'll apologize. He just doubles down. Oh my God, doubles down and can't apologize. It's really, really concerning, and really hope we don't see him ever again. That was the last time we should ever discuss him. And
he's a vampire, by the way.
Yes. That was one of Trent's best tweets of just pictures of garlic. That was our first Twilight reference. We're back to seeing Yosef. That guy is big bad, for sure in the Volturi. And on top of that, Blake Moynes, who would be a werewolf. If we were going to cast Blake Moynes in Twilight, he would be in that family.
Well, he's Jacob because it's when Bella tells Jacob, you're not it. I like Edward. So that was, clear werewolf vibes. And then he said he imprinted.
Yeah. Said all these things from Tayshia has imprinted on him. So just him using the word imprint, we didn't catch it, thankfully. Someone on Twitter, shout out to you, caught it and sent it to us. And then she sent us the clip again to watch, and clear as day. Twilight reference out of Blake Moyne's mouth.
Yep. Imprinted is a word straight out of Twilight. I know it's been used in other places, but that is a strong word.
I immediately think of Twilight anytime I hear that word.
Strong word.
I think of ducks when I hear imprint. I had ducks imprint on people, right?
That's nice. I think you're right. I'm not quite sure.
We're talking about something a little deeper, like Renesmee.
What does that word mean?
Can't tell you.
It's a person.
Well, I don't want to spoil the movie for you, because we're gonna have that watch party.
Yeah, because I would like to see Twilight, so the references don't go just right over my head.
Yeah.
We'll and the third reference is I look like fucking Jacob. Like,
yep.
My hairstyle. I'm Jacob.
It's the same hairstyle. It's fantastic.
He has long hair.
The side by. Well, there at one point,
one,
yeah. At one point,
you just got to go to Chicks in the Office on Instagram and see what I'm talking about if you're listening to this.
It really made me laugh. It's very funny. But it's Twilight references left and right tonight, I gotta say. It's been very, very relevant. Tasha got to talk to Blake. Tasha got to talk to Riley. Tasha and Riley. That chemistry is still there. I felt sad watching them on that couch because I was like, you know what? They needed more time. I'm sure Tasha is happy right now, but the way they were looking at each other, the way he reacted when Tasha walked out, like this guy, they had something. And I just don't think they had enough time to really see if it could be anything. Sad.
Maybe it'd be something down the line. I think you're right. I think Tasha's probably happy with whatever pick she made at the end of the season, but I don't want to close the door on Riley and Tasha forever because I would really like to see them get together at some point.
Especially because the only contestant Tasha is following on Instagram is Riley.
Is that true?
Yeah. As of today.
Interesting.
She may follow tomorrow and then I could be lying, but as of now, that's it.
It is.
Maybe they'll be good pals.
If she doesn't pick Zach C, then maybe down the line. If she does pick Zach C, then I hope they live happily ever after, and I don't wish anything else than that.
Fair enough.
It is very interesting. I don't know. It's weird to I feel like you either follow everyone or you follow none.
Maybe Riley has reached out to her after the show more than the others, or maybe at all, and they've had a friendship.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Interesting.
The way Riley looks at Tasha is it's funny, but it's also, he's like, he's in
love. Yeah.
He's in love.
It's like, he looks at her like, it's fantastic, but she is beautiful and she has looked amazing. Top-notch outfits all around, always from Tasha.
Okay, I think it's finally time to get into the second episode of this week. But before we do that, I'm going to talk about something important with you guys, okay? You may be struggling to pay off your student loans, and you may be like, these things are out of control. Trust me, I've been there. But now's the time to get your student loan payment under control. You could be saving by refinancing your student loans with Earnest. If you've been making the same monthly payment on your student loans for the last couple of years, odds are you could reduce your payment and save by refinancing with Earnest. Even if you've refinanced before, with today's low rate environment, most people could save by refinancing again. Checking your new rate is fast and easy. To start, you complete a few questions online. It only takes 2 minutes, then you'll get a personalized rate estimate without affecting your credit score. Plus, there's no origination fee or any other fees. And now you can get a $100 cash bonus when you refinance a student loan with earnest.com/chicks. Once again, you get a $100 cash bonus when you refinance your student loan at earnest.com/chicks. Not available in all states. Visit earnest.com/chicks for more details. Terms and conditions apply. Earnest student loan refinance loans are made by Earnest Operations LLC and MLS, number 1204917, California refinancing law license number 6054788, 303 2nd Suite, 401 North San Francisco, California 94107. Visit earnest.com/licenses for a full list of licensed states. Better than I can read it.
Then we had the hometowns Tuesday night. We got everybody's families coming into La Quinta. They obviously can't go to their actual hometowns. So it was the numbers were smaller. They didn't get the full family affair. It wasn't everybody there. They only got a select few people who came. Brendan was with his brother's wife, and their daughter, who is very, very cute. I'm going to forget her name. Aaliyah.
Oh,
boy, is right.
I don't remember her name.
She was very, very cute, and I tweeted about her, and I said she was an absolute star, and she was. It's only because it was.
I missed part of Brendan's date.
It was Aaliyah.
Aliyah.
Yeah.
But I feel like they were pronouncing it Aaliyah.
It's spelled Aliyah.
That's normally Aaliyah. So, all right, I'll go with that. She was very, very sweet. You missed it? Where were you?
I don't know.
That is a suspicious answer.
No, I wasn't feeling well. My stomach was hurting.
Oh. You sit behind me, so sometimes I don't realize when you're not there. I apologize for making you say that on the show.
No, it's okay. I was having some tummy issues, Trent.
Okay.
Happens to the best
Got
of
it.
us. Just ask Lamar
I
Jackson.
don't poop, though, so
Yep.
that's not what I'm talking about.
Yep. Correct. Never. Okay.
I literally have never.
Yeah. Literally never. Okay. We'll move on. The date was
I'm
this
quite
carnival.
uncomfortable, and I wish Noah would cut this all out. I'm sweating.
We're talking about the date now. Brendan and Tayshia have a great time with Brendan's niece. Brendan's brother is a delight. They're sweating absolute bullets. These guys couldn't be sweating more on these hometown dates.
Hilarious.
Not only are they, I'm sure, very nervous on these dates, but it must have been 120 degrees.
This was really the beginning of everyone sweating. Like I think, when Brendan's niece came out, they played where you throw the rings at whatever. You kind of noticed a little bit of sweat on Brendan. You're like, oh, they must be like they're doing a physical activity. But then as the episode went on, it was just everyone was pouring sweat. Yeah. Everybody. It had to be 130 degrees in Palm Springs for everybody to be sweating like that. Even when they were indoors, people were sweating.
They were filming in the middle of the summer.
In Palm
Makes
Springs.
sense.
It had to have been hot.
So even Tayshia, you could tell it was like so hot. But then Brendan whipped out.
Come on!
Oh my god, scared the shit out of me.
Oh,
It's even louder in the headphones. I just like jumped. I just like went black for a second. Woo! Brendan
don't fuck it up again.
was dancing, moving his hips, shimmying. I was kind of impressed.
I tweeted 2 minutes before the hip shaking that like Brendan is so low energy, his heart rate can't go above like 25 beats per minute, and he's just very low energy. And then 2 minutes later, he's like salsa dancing and shaking his hips all over the place. I want more of that, Brendan, because I genuinely like Brendan. I think he's an awesome guy.
Yeah. And
I don't think we've seen enough of him. Like, he's always just very low speaking and monotone, and he doesn't get excited. But when I saw him dancing, I was like, I want to know more about Brendan.
Right. We want to know that guy, the dancing guy. Yeah.
Big time.
You know who I want to see salsa dance?
Oh, no.
You,
Who?
Trent. You.
No. No.
One
No.
day. One day we'll see. Do you dance at weddings?
Yeah, I do.
Love that. Love
You
that.
have to.
I'm picturing Trent dancing now, and
You, I mean, you think the people on this episode are sweating? Look on me on a wedding dance floor. I'm sweating.
you know how I kind of
What
picture
kind of dance
Trent
moves do you
dancing.
do?
There's a
Oh.
The ties coming off, and then you're just like, woo, woo, woo.
You're whipping the
I'm
tie
thinking
around.
of I'm picturing like Trent doing like the dance moves from Hitch.
I'm picturing Get Low is playing.
Start
and
the
Trent's
fire.
like, bum bum bum.
Yeah.
Like I just pictured Trent going like this back.
Getting low.
Yeah, he's just like moving side to side.
I feel like I get pretty into the cha-cha slide. I think that's something.
That's a good one. Pretty simple.
'Cause I like the songs they tell me what to do is because otherwise I just don't know what I'm doing out there. So
Can you
perfect.
do the Cotton Eye Joe?
Is that where you just kick your legs up like
Yeah,
crazy?
Kind of.
Yeah.
I think I would hurt. Now, I think if I did that nowadays, I would really hurt myself. Like
Oh, Trent,
love-
don't say that.
weddings are fun. They're really fun.
I was about
They
to say
are.
something inappropriate to you, Trent.
Oh.
But I'm gonna refrain this episode.
You can say it if you want.
I bet Trent.
so quick to just say it.
I bet Trent
No hesitation.
fucks at weddings.
Whoa.
Like he's
Whoa.
on the hunt for a bridesmaid.
I have no comment. No comment.
I just had to say that.
Oh boy. Okay,
You don't
guys.
think he's hunting for bridesmaids at a wedding?
I think every guy's hunting for
I-
any single guy's hunting
of
for
course,
bridesmaids. at
that's
the
why
wedding.
I said Trent's gotta be.
Yeah.
No comment.
Oh man. Okay. We were saying this during Cutting Stems, Trent. It was just like every hometown date was really so pleasant. We were kind of just saying the same things over and over about each one. It was like, oh, the family was great, the conversation was great, the whole date was great. And it's true. They were all great. Like, you know, Zach had his brother and his parents. They did the whole little New York City thing. They were making out in the fountain, which it's clear as day to me. Tayshia does not interact with any of these other guys the way she interacts with Zach C. That makeout in that fountain was steamy.
You would not do that in New York City. It would be disgusting
Nope.
if you got into the fountain and started
you're
kissing.
catching
You would have a
some kind
disease.
of disease.
You'd get corona immediately in that fountain.
Yeah.
Well, first, I think it was just out of necessity because it was so fucking hot there. But
That's
also,
very true.
But also, Zach C, you know, Fran's been beating the Zach C drum for pretty much since the first episode. But it's pretty clear that unless something, you know, crazy happens, which I think we're pretty well past that point, Zach C it seems to be the pick. I thought the New York date was a delight. I don't know where they got all those cutouts for the New York. They ate bagels, and there were gummy bears, and I think like sour worms, which was like crazy. I don't know why that was an option, but yeah, I think if you've been paying attention even a little bit, Zach C is far and away number one. What are you laughing at, Rhea?
Do you have a fireplace set up on your TV?
I do, yeah.
Because it looks like flames are coming out of your eyeballs.
No,
It's reflecting in your glasses. And
No,
his ring light.
Wait, don't you see that? It looks like flames are coming out of his eyeballs.
Wow, it really does. I didn't see it before, and now it's frightening. Yeah.
When the weather turns, it starts to get a little colder in New York City. I like to throw on. I can even turn this puppy around. I like turn on a little fire.
Oh my God, that is just delightful.
That
Trent,
is.
I have that same ring light.
Same.
And that's Robbie Fox's ring light. This is the first time I remember using a ring light because I don't really have great lighting in this room.
Let me tell you, the fire in Trent's eyes is the angriest he's ever looked.
Yeah.
And then if I have it on mute, but if you turn it up, it's just playing instrumental Christmas music. It is
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's really
But
really nice.
I didn't think about the reflection of my glasses. That probably looks weird.
Now I'm not going to be able to not see it.
It's fine, but
yeah.
it had to be talked about. Your
Absolutely.
eyes
No,
were
it
just
definitely
had
did.
fire in them.
Definitely did. But Trent, you are right. I have been very much on the Zach C train since day one, and his family was very nice. They were very sweet. They had a nice conversation with Tayshia, and no one even really there was no grilling. It was really very pleasant. Everybody had a nice time. I did see people on Twitter complaining about New York for Zach C when he is from South Jersey and is such a big Eagles fan, the whole thing. But he has spent time in New York, clearly. And I just think those dates are always, that's set up by what the producers can set up for them anyway. It's like, hey, we're going to give you New York. It's close enough to where you're from.
True, but they should have set up like a fake football field.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't do
were at like
Philly.
a Philly game, and all of a sudden they're eating Philly cheesesteaks. That would have been fun.
No, it should have been Philly. I don't really know why they chose New York. It absolutely should have been Philly, but I don't think that's Zach C's fault.
Yeah, no, it's
I
definitely
will
not.
say halfway through the New York date, I was like, I didn't know this dude was from New York, and then I realized he's not from New York.
Yeah, I'm not sure if maybe he's spent some time living in New York. I don't know enough. I don't know the details of it because I was thinking, oh, maybe it's kind of, if I went on this show, would my hometown, would it say my actual hometown in New Jersey? And that, because we're close. You go back and forth. I live in New York, but my hometown is not New York. So it's like, and Ben, they did Venice Beach. Ben lives in Venice Beach, but he's not from Venice Beach. So that's, it wasn't quite as hometowny as you would normally get from legit going to the hometowns.
Probably
Right.
easier to get New York City, Manhattan cutouts than
I'm sure.
wherever he's from. And is it Philly or is it just New Jersey?
He's from South Jersey.
Yeah, like what does South Jersey look like?
Have you ever been to New Jersey?
No.
He's from suburbia. It's
Okay.
a very nice suburban town.
Yeah, I think that all the hometowns they were just nice, you know. They were. I think that we can just admit that they were all nice. There was nothing crazy that happened. I will say, stand out to me. My favorite hometown was Ivan's.
Yeah.
First of all, I love Ivan. I think he's so sweet and wonderful, and we see that
So sweet.
goofy side of him. He seems like he's lighthearted and fun, and I really like Ivan. Although I still stand by the fact that I think he's going to get his heart broken by Tayshia, unfortunately. But Ivan's family overall, his mom and dad, absolute sweethearts. I loved his parents. They were so great. And then you get Ivan's brother Gabe, who's fucking awesome. This guy walks in, you know, he's been to jail before, not exactly sure the reasoning. I think Noah looked it up. It was, I don't exactly know why he was in jail. It said drugs and alcohol. Not sure if that's the truth. We don't know. But what I do know is that Ivan's brother Gabe was wearing a fire outfit, a phenomenal shirt. He walked in, and he was also
Face tats
as well, which fair enough. And also, he was poetic as hell. Like the things he was saying, righteous endeavor, the way he was like rewording things Tayshia would say and then come back with something super intelligent, and the way that him and Ivan were connected, the way Tayshia started crying when she saw them together. Ivan's brother was a goddamn delight. Now, Trent, say it.
Make him the Bachelor. Make Ivan's brother the Bachelor. That would be the best season of television ever. Like, it would be, I said it as a joke, I tweeted it out, but the more I thought about it, the more I think it should just happen. Like, it would really flip everything on its head. People would be like, what's going on with The Bachelor right now? He's just somebody like we've never had be The Bachelor, and I really think it would be amazing.
Absolutely, Trent. I think that's what they need to start doing in this franchise is give us people we've never had before. Give us somebody like Ivan's brother. I think it would be entertaining. I think it would be funny. I think it's a callback to Ivan. Like, you know, what? Just do it. Just do it. Give the people what they want, an entertaining season with Ivan's brother.
All right, I'm willing to compromise. Let's put him in paradise first. Put him see how he does. Like, they've done that before. Siblings of people who've been on the show.
Ashley I brought Lauren.
That's right. That's one I couldn't think of. Just put what's Ivan's brother's name?
Gabe.
Yes.
Gabe. Put Gabe down there, and if Ivan doesn't win it, send them down there as a duo, and let's just see what happens. It's going to be entertaining television no matter what.
I was afraid Gabe was going to steal Tayshia away. That bad boy effect. You never know.
They kind of have like a Sugar and Spice brother vibe.
Yeah, it was like, oh shit, this bad boy's coming through.
Yeah. And Ivan and Gabe's relationship was so sweet. Just hearing them talk was really adorable. Him saying that, you know, Ivan has been there for him for so long and how he is so happy to have this opportunity now to be there for him, and the relationship that Ivan has with his daughter. It was really very, very sweet. And Ivan was so happy to see him. You also knew he was coming out. Like, they showed way too many clips of Ivan being like, I just really wish my brother was here. Like, if he said it one time, then I don't think I would have expected it. But they cut him saying it maybe 5 times where it was like, okay, he said it enough where this guy's got to come out.
Right. And I think Ivan obviously loves his brother. It's his brother. But loving him as much as he does and how emotional he got made Ivan's brother even better. Because you're like, this guy, he may be a good guy. You know, they talked about him being in jail. But like, if he's still around, he's making appearances on this show. And Ivan
bettering himself.
Bettering himself, hopefully. And Ivan is in tears. And Tayshia's so happy to see him and has heard great things about him. Like, I think it really hyped him up. Ivan was like hyping up his brother.
I was genuinely surprised when he walked through that door. When he like,
you didn't pick up on all the hints?
I didn't.
I'm really such a sucker sometimes for this show. Where usually I'm like, I can see all the angles. I know what's going to happen. I know who's going to come out and win. I had no idea his brother was going to show up. When he showed up, I was just as surprised as Ivan was.
Well, then, yeah. Obviously, Ivan was surprised, but I just felt like Ivan had said it so many times that it was like, okay, you got to think something happens here. But that was another really, like I said, it was another great hometown date. And then we had Ben. We'll get into his hometown, but I gotta say, guys, if you are not drinking Coors Light when you are maybe watching The Bachelorette, listening to this recap, you're missing out. Coors Light is the official beer of Chicks in the Office. It's the beer that is literally made to chill. It's the perfect beer, after a day where you feel like you've been on the go, you got a lot going on. There's tons and tons of issues in your life where you're just like, hey, I need to sit down. I need to relax. I need to crack open a beer. Reach for the beer that is always made to chill. That is Coors Light. So great. And Coors Light has new packaging right now that's already hitting the shelves. It's a new design that features clear skies that invite you to sit back, unwind, and drink it all in. Those iconic Coors Light mountains still turn blue when your beer is as cold as the Rockies. It's a brand new look with the same ice-cold refreshment. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged. It's literally made to chill. It's as crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies, perfect for a moment to unwind. Coors Light is our favorite beer. It is the beer that we choose when we need to relax. And I suggest, I always say that when we're recording this podcast, we're talking a lot. And when we finish, we just want to sit in silence, relax, take a moment to ourselves. So we reach for a Coors Light, especially when we're recording on Thursdays for the Friday episode. It's a perfect way to head into that Friday, kind of head into the weekend, is starting off with the Coors Light. So Coors Light is the one we choose when we need to unwind. So when you want to hit reset, reach for the beer that's made to chill. Get Coors Light in the new look delivered straight to your door at get.coorslight.com. And always remember, celebrate responsibly. This is coming from the Coors Brewing Company in Golden, Colorado. Ben, they got to meet Ben's sister and family friend Antonia, which, buried the lead. Chef Antonia put some respect on the name. There was no explanation of who she was. It was just like, oh, this is Ben's old pal, Antonia.
The fact that they did not have the cooking date for Tayshia and Ben, where Chef Antonia is a chef on the date, teaching them how to cook, and then boom, Chef Antonia turns out to be part of Ben's family package, was such a missed opportunity. How did they not market her as the chef from the Food Network? How did they not talk about that? Maybe she didn't want that. Maybe she wanted it to be about Ben. Yeah. But hey, guess what, Chef Antonia? We're still talking about you being the chef from the Food Network, so that didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who that person is.
We didn't expect you to.
Iron Chef. She's been on tons and
Cutthroat
tons of
Kitchen,
Food Network shows. Wanted like a judge that's in the rotation for a lot of Food Network shows. Okay. She's fantastic, and I'm still a little unsure of where this, how this relationship formed. How is she a dear family friend? I did ask it on Twitter, and some replies that said that he trains her or he is her trainer, but I feel like it's got to go deeper than that for her to be involved at this level where it seems like they act like they're siblings, It seems like it's a deeper friendship, and she tried to coach the shit out of him. She's like, hey, if you love her, you got to tell her, come on. She was really very helpful with Ben, and yet Ben still blew it.
Yeah, I'm not too interested into finding out why Ben and Chef Antonia know each other. To me, I'm just like, if that's your family friend, that's your family friend. I don't like to know the story behind every person becoming friends with their family friends. So I'm like, if it is what it is to me. Still interesting she was there, and I find it shocking they didn't mention that she's Chef Antonia. To me, That's the crazy part. But yeah, Ben, he has a tough time pouring out his emotions. We see that Chef Antonia was pulling teeth. Mm-hmm. And then unfortunately it didn't land him a spot in the final three. He got sent home because of that reasoning. And I think Tayshia was waiting for him to say those words, I love you, or I'm falling in love with you. And that just wasn't there until he was in the car going home.
Yeah.
He really has trouble showing his emotions. It's been like a dream the whole season that he doesn't cry. He said it 4 or 5 times where he's like, I
don't even know how.
I don't even know how. So, it wasn't that much of a surprise that he wasn't able to say to Tayshia, I'm falling in love with you or I'm in love with you. But like that's all it would have taken, I think. I think that was very much the difference between Ben going home or maybe Ivan going home or maybe even Brendan. Zach C obviously wasn't going home. But I think if Ben just goes a little bit further and says, I love you, I'm falling in love with you, Tayshia, he's still around. But since he couldn't muster up whatever he needed to say it, and then he just got sent home. It was tough.
And even afterwards, when he walked out, Tayshia said, I needed him to give me anything in that time, sending him home. Sadness, anger, anything. He was just kind of like a blank face, wasn't getting any reaction. He does clearly have a hard time expressing his emotions, and he was able to say that he loves Tayshia to the camera, but not to her face. And I think I was shocked. I really didn't think Ben was going to be the one to go home, but I had in my mind it was Zach and Ben at the end. I just really thought that it was going to be Zach and Ben, but I understand from Tayshia's point of view of how, like, if he can't open up, he has some work to do on himself before maybe he's ready to be in an engagement.
I agree, and I think he has some work for himself before he's on Bachelor in Paradise or Bachelor in general. I saw a lot of people being like, Ben for Bachelor, Ben for Bachelor. I like Ben, and I really thank him for opening up on the show like he did. I thought that was really brave and probably helped a lot of people, and I thought that was great. But I don't think that Ben would be suitable as Bachelor. I think as Bachelor, you got to, be able to open up, show your emotions, really dive deep, maybe some crying, whatever it may be, really just let all the emotions fly. I don't think that would come easy for Ben, and I don't think it's something he should put himself through necessarily. So I don't really agree with the Ben for Bachelor movement, but I do like Ben, and I appreciate what he gave on this season.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we got the last group of guys. It was a tough decision. We got a great group here, and the top three are solid. We got a solid top three.
I had no idea going into that last rose ceremony when there were 4 of them what was going to happen. I tweeted out, I was like, well, I guess probably Ivan's going to go home. And then Ivan was the first name that came out of Tayshia's mouth. I was stunned by that. I did not think Ben was going to go home. I thought Ivan would have been my number one pick to go home. Then maybe Brendan, then Ben, then Zach C. I did not see Ben going home this week. I was legitimately stunned. And usually at this point in the show, you kind of know what's going on. Obviously, you know what's going on with Zach C. But I did not have a beat on who was going to go home. I was legitimately surprised by that rose ceremony.
Yeah, absolutely. I was very surprised as well. Did not see it coming. But now we have fantasy suites next week. Fantasy dates. Brendan, Zach, and Ivan are our top 3. So it's very, very interesting. It's a close top 3. I feel like it is going to. I think Brendan is a little too nervous. I don't know if he's ready to get engaged again. I think he needs more time, and I don't know if Tayshia's going to be willing to do that. Ivan, so sweet, absolute angel. I think he's too sweet for Tayshia, which leaves a clear path for Zach C. I just think it's the obvious choice. Maybe it's so obvious that she picked someone else, but it seems so obvious.
Yeah, I think top 2 goes to Zach and Ivan, because I feel like something is Brendan just doesn't seem totally ready.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to affect him in the long run.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to end up being between Ivan and Zach C, and I think Zach C is going to take it home. But do you guys think that she has sex with everybody during fantasy suites?
I just quickly, I think my top 2 would be Zach and Brendan. I feel like her and Ivan are more friends.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I agree with you, Trent.
He is so sweet that, like, during their the first part of their hometown date where they're not with the families and they're making food and they're dancing around, like, that felt very friend-like to me. And that's why I was surprised that Ivan stayed and Ben went home. I thought Ben and Tayshia had a much more of like we could potentially get engaged at the end of this. far more than Ivan. But I do agree that Brendan's hesitance to potentially propose to Tayshia at the end, that's going to be a big issue, and that's probably going to knock Brendan out of the final two. Will she have sex with all three of them? I think, boy, that's an
I think yes. I think yes, because I think she's very attracted to Zach, so yes. That could be the one, though, that could be, hey, maybe we should wait because I already know I'm so attracted to you. Kind of like a Tyler C situation.
Yeah.
Ivan, I think yes, because of what Trent is saying about the friend thing. I think Tayshia maybe needs to know if there is the sexual chemistry there or not. Because then that'll give her answer. Like, if it's not there, it's like, okay, this guy is great, but we're definitely more friends vibe. And I just think, like, probably with Brendan too, because why not?
Why do I feel like Zach C is going to be the one to hold out on having sex with Tayshia? Because in the teaser, it looks like something happened between them.
Yeah.
Contentious. And she's like, what do I do with that?
They could be throwing us off again.
Imagine he just couldn't get hard. She's like, what do I do with that limp dick? Like, because it's just something so preposterous, something like that. I don't know. It could be anything at this point. She was crying over Blake Moynes, and we thought that, like I said, we thought her ex-husband was coming back. So who knows what that's about. It'll be interesting to see what happens, though.
I would say yes to all three, I think. Ivan, I hope. I'm rooting for Ivan. I hope. I hope for Ivan, because he is such a nice guy, and he just seems like a great guy. Brendan, maybe he doesn't seem like he's just so timid sometimes that I think that's, I don't know if
Brendan,
Tayshia's gonna
have a feeling he could be sneaky, kind of like not freaky, but has like a very sexual side. And I'm reading that just from the way he is, and then / when he just whipped out those dance moves like nothing. I'm like, I feel like we don't fully know this guy.
Were we texting about his Instagram pictures?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he has very attractive Instagram photos.
Right, which, no offense to him, or I don't mean to be mean, but it doesn't come across like the way his Instagram pictures do on TV. His
Instagram's
pictures,
a liar.
He's got full-blown model shots. It looks like he's done some male modeling.
He absolutely has. People have sent multiple photos of Brendan on billboards and magazines and whatnot. Yeah. We're letting Brendan slide, and we were blowing up Dale, but we should really be posting Brendan shots as well.
Yeah. A lot of modeling work in there. Of course, the heater. We're just at the end, and the heater is going to come on. It's unbelievable. All right, guys. I think that wraps it up. Oh, just a small tidbit that I'm thankful for on this Bachelor Wednesday. Zach C followed me on Twitter.
Wow.
What?
And he retweeted one of my Eagles tweets.
Oh my God. This is huge. Yep. And you just decided to tell us now?
I wanted to save it.
Okay, but sometimes I think you're a fake friend when you don't tell me things.
God.
When you don't tell me.
Sometimes I truly save it for the show because I tell you everything where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to save this to get a genuine reaction so we don't have to fake it on the podcast.
True, but I still would have been just as excited, you know?
Yes.
I don't know how you don't text us immediately being like, Zach, so you followed me, guys, and he retweeted me. How do you not text your friends that?
It was like
a quote tweet.
A quote tweet that was like a paragraph long.
Well, it was about the Eagles.
And we get nothing. We get no text. Trent, what is this? Come on.
You're holding out on us on Zach's. You on Twitter.
I saw it right after the Eagles game, and I was my emotions were all over the place. One, because of the Eagles game, and I saw it and was like, oh, and then I kind of forgot about it.
Sometimes I'm just like, in my head, me and Fran are way closer than in her head.
Oh my God! Don't say that.
There are so many times I text Fran I'm like, this just happened. This just happened. There are so many times where Fran will tell. I'm like, you didn't tell me that. You didn't tell me that. Ugh. Anyways, we're really excited for you, though. That's huge.
At least I'm not like sending it to other people and not sending. I didn't tell anyone.
You didn't tell your friends? You
No.
didn't tell your friend group chat?
No.
I don't know if I believe
No,
that.
I swear to God.
You saw that.
I
Didn't tell
swear to
one
God.
person.
Didn't tell anyone. Didn't tell my family.
I don't believe that.
Didn't tell a soul.
What? Why not?
I don't know.
Herself.
I don't know. I have no real reason for why I didn't tell anyone. I just didn't.
I'm just going to, for no reason, I'm going to flip sides. And I'm just going to say that I like that she saved it for the show. That's like, that's someone who's, wants to get a genuine reaction out of us, I suppose.
Yeah, I did. I wanted to get a real reaction and say to you guys in this moment, like that was big. And I honestly, I saw it on Sunday and had like a woo like in my head. And then I went back to thinking about the Eagles and then got distracted and then didn't think about it again until tonight when someone on Twitter tweeted at me again saying, "Oh, I just noticed that Zach follows Fran." And I was like, "Oh my God, I forgot about that."
That's
and
huge.
Here we are.
That's huge. All I know is I'm going to start withholding information, but that's huge. That is, Fran, we are so ecstatic for you.
Thank you, guys.
But now I know to hold in some information.
I am not quite sure when the follow happened, so I don't know how many of my horny for Zach C tweets he has seen, but if he has gone
All
back,
of them.
there is a lot.
There is a lot.
I do like that he chose an Eagles take to put his 2 cents in for, so I just really hope that one day Zach and I can sit down and talk about the Eagles.
Is that all? Because maybe he's not with you.
Yeah, I was just about to say, what if we read into this? Like,
Yeah. What if we really dive deep here?
Yeah. Well, the thing is I was reading his bio again on his Bachelor bio.
Interesting.
Boy.
Well,
She's in deep.
Well, it was sent to me, guys. It was sent to me again. I did not go seeking it out, but everything in there is top notch. It's really,
He's almost too
Just
good. No,
a-
we've heard it.
I know, but I just got to say it again. Quickly. Hold on. I'll find it because it was sent to me.
put some like romantic music behind this.
Yeah.
when she reads it.
Noah, that's your job. You should do that.
Okay.
Fran, right now, Fran is pretending like she hasn't found it yet when she found
Yep.
it as soon as she opened the phone.
It's your favorites.
Yeah.
So he loves Philadelphia sports.
Read it from the top.
Dreams of sharing a Philly cheese. No, it's too long. I need to read the whole thing. He dreams of sharing a Philly cheesesteak with his future wife while watching the Eagles win a Super Bowl. He's a sneakerhead, which okay, I can respect the sneakerhead game.
I actually did see tonight when they were on their New York date, with like Flintstoning around with that taxi cab.
Yeah.
that he was wearing Jordan. He must
Yeah.
be a pretty big.
Yeah, I think so. He likes to read his news in the newspaper, and I feel like we vibe on that because I like to read, real books, really print words on paper.
That
His
feels,
dream-
That one feels like a stretch, I'll say.
Yeah,
It does.
Yep.
Absolutely, Trent. I'm glad you said it.
a little bit, but here we are. His dream is to travel to Italy and eat his way through the country.
Wait. We can't hear Trent. You got Trent.
What'd you
please
say,
speak.
Trent?
Oh yeah, no, I was just gonna say that the connection there is that you both like to read words off of paper.
Yep,
so
correct.
That's,
Yeah, well, some people don't like to do that. His dream is to travel to Italy and eat his way through the country. Love that. And he loves desserts, but if there's fruit on the plane, he's not eating it.
Isn't everybody's dream to travel through Italy and eat their way through?
Absolutely. But
Now
that's in his bio. It's not in everybody
Now I-
else's bio.
I think I'm in love with Zach C.
Yeah, it's hard not to be.
He loves desserts. Like he refuses to eat fruit. That's me. That's me. all
And
right.
and love sneakers. I feel like you have a respect for sneakers.
yeah,
A
I don't
respect,
really have-
not exactly you wear the same shoes. But
I like the idea of being a sneakerhead. Like I've always thought about if I'm gonna wear the same thing every day, which I've just committed to at this point. It'd be nice to change up my shoes like every once in a while, just to be like that's the one thing that is different. But I haven't really dove into that too much.
Well, maybe
That's
if
fair.
you befriend Zach, you guys can get into that sort of thing.
Maybe we could eat some desserts together,
Ignore the fruit and just try on some
Throw-
sneakers.
throw fruit away. I don't know. Buddies. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys would be good pals.
I think you would.
We know Fran and him would.
It's very true.
I
All
think
right.
If Tasha's with somebody right now, do you think they're still together right now? Have we had
Yes.
any picture rings or anything like that?
Yeah, we talked
The
about
ring,
it. She
yeah.
was wearing a ring. Ellen, she said Zaxby's husband material. I think
I think
pretty
she is, and
apparent.
I think it's Zach.
Yeah, that Ellen interview is interesting. That she would say that just outright.
Yeah, it makes you think that it's not Zaxy because of how outright she said it. But I can't imagine her. I can't imagine it being Brendan. I guess I can't imagine it being Brendan. I have a harder time with Ivan because I'm not quite sure if that connection is there for them, even though Ivan is fantastic.
Like,
I just think watching the show, she doesn't act and anywhere close to the same way with these guys as she does with Zach.
She did say to Zach, see, it's easy with you. And usually that's an indication on the show of like, not that the other relationships are hard in any way, but with Zach, it just, everything sort of fits. The only thing that sort of makes me think it's Brendan, if I don't think it's Zach C, which I definitely do, but they did show the clip of Tayshia in the spot where she would potentially get proposed to, and she's crying. And we know that Brendan is very back and forth about whether or not he's going to be able to propose at the end of this. So the only thing I could muster up would be that Brendan like gets cold feet and can't propose, and that sort of derails everything.
I took her crying at that part as I'm just overwhelmed that I'm about to be engaged.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Or she just,
it could be
or
either
she just
one,
sent
but
home maybe she just sent home the guy who lost.
Yeah, something like that.
I will say I am not going to handle it well if and when Brendan gets sent home. I'm such a Brendan fan that it's going to be absolutely heartbreaking when Brendan gets sent home. He
has those beautiful eyes too that when you cry it makes it 10 times sadder. You know, the blue eyes get all like glassy, and it's just he's a beautiful crier. Yeah. From the couple times he's cried. And so it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for all these guys because these guys are fantastic. So but we're 1 week away, almost there.
We're almost there, and then guess what, guys? We got Matt James' season.
We're
right
jumping right back on the bus.
Yeah. And
I was saying, I was watching it at my apartment, obviously, and Robbie was just in the living room watching it as well, half paying attention. And a commercial for Matt James' season came on. And I said out loud, and not even to him, while the Matt James commercial was going on, I was just like, this is awesome that they're turning it right back around, and we get it January 4th.
No break time.
Right, like, the world's obviously crazy, and things are getting shut down left and right. And just for the Bachelor and the Bachelorette to end the Bachelorette, and then I think we have a week in between, and then we just fire it back up with the Bachelor. It's just awesome.
It's awesome, and it's especially awesome for this podcast. So, programming note, our last podcast of this year will be the Bachelorette finale recap, which is very exciting on December 23rd. That will be our last episode of this year. And then we'll be back for Monday, January 4th. Will be our first episode of the new year. And then boom, that Wednesday, we get Bachelor premiere recap. So really exciting stuff. I'm excited that we get to have Trent on this podcast for even longer, because usually we do a season, then we get a break. And we don't get a break this time. We got Trent for a whole another season, and I'm really excited about it.
Are we going to... This is a question I can totally ask you guys not during this show.
Yeah, let's end this. Let's end this first.
Yep. We will take the logistics talk off the podcast. So thank you guys all for listening, and we will be back for the finale next week.
Woo! Love you guys.